ndị ba anyị ekene m unu ebe ọ bụla nọ wee na-ekiri anyị ugbu a ka Kpakpando nke ụbọchị taa ga-apụ iche nke ukwuu maka na anyị were enyi ndị Igbo ọgọ ndị Igbo ofu onye fọrọ ndị Igbo n'anya nke ukwuu. Anyị chọrọ ịma ka o si dị, ka obi dị ya na ihe ọ ga-agwa anyị gbasara ndị Igbo na ndị obodo ebe o si. Ana m ekwu maka ọkammụta dibịa bekee Dave. You're welcome.
Shalom.
Shalom. First, let's first of all, let's meet Dave. Let's meet you. I just told our people that we have a special guest, that our friend, our in-law, and a medical doctor. But they want to really meet Dr. Dave.
Okay, fine, thank you. Well, I guess I'm a typical Londoner originally.
Okay.
I'm an Israelite Hebrew in my background, but London is a very multicultural place. And in London, I met many people and became friends with Africans. In fact, as a young man in London, when I was 17, I'd lost my father, and an African man kind of took me under his wing and adopted me. He was my mentor. After that, I became interested in African things. I did very well in the health service. In fact, my clinical medical work was minimal because I went to management. I was managing hospitals. And that's where I met many Africans and decided I needed to come to this place. I was a clinical director of a hospital, came here, and I was a typical British man at that point, until I came to one village in Imo State. I met villagers and I became ill. The villagers strolled into the place where I was staying.
You became ill?
Yes.
Maybe it was going to what? Or something.
Probably something like that, but I was ill. I felt as though I was dying. I was dizzy. And these villagers, I remember one woman in particular. She prayed for me, and she had tears in her eyes, as though I'm her son. So I said to myself, when I get better, these people are special. I fell in love with the Igbo nation for kindness. You've never seen such kindness. I was a normal white man until that point.
When you say normal white man, how do you mean?
Well, white people can be
because
elitist.
We can still see that you are white.
Yes, white people can be elitist,
okay,
and they think they're great and they're the best thing. But at that point I realized we're lacking, and how beautiful Africans are, how kind they are. Fell in love with them, especially the Igbo nation. I said to God, Father, give me opportunities, so that I can do many things and come back to this place and do well. And he did. My career was breathtaking. I was working for a big multinational company. I would travel the world. But at a point, I was ready to come here and do a job, a missionary job.
And you're here.
And I'm here now, and I'm so glad to be here. And my life has been changed by your nation. You see, many Igbos don't believe in themselves enough. But those who do, who I know, for example, like you, are just so fulfilled. Because you see, I've traveled the world, and I love Africa, but Igbos are something special. They have love deep in their heart. Although there are many problems, and we're trying to deal with some of the problems, and me as a missionary and as a leader, are trying to train young people.
So is it out of the love you have for us, or what that woman did for you that made you to pick one of our daughters as your wife?
Well, let's say it started with that, because if somebody shows you love, you become a convert to their, to them.
Yes.
So, but then I got to know them. I got to know that I started researching Igbo culture, and I realized that this nation has a heritage which has been wiped out, hidden. But when you dig deep, the heritage of the Igbo nation is quite unbelievable. It goes beyond what white people have achieved. It's the Igbos are the hidden secret of the world.
But that happened because your people came here and sold your religion
Yes.
to us, and our forefathers bought into it. Since then, we forgot our religion.
Yes,
What
yes.
is that uniqueness that you are talking about our culture? And
There's a sense of, let me say, 3 or 4 things. Now, this isn't just observation. I've done detailed research, even going to ancient books. Number one, they have this kind of republicanism. Now, when I say they have, I'm talking about the original, unadulterated culture. They have this republicanism that they believe in decisions should be made democratically. So if you like, they have an ancient version of democracy, which is better. And I'm a manager and I teach management. And I practice what I call Evo Management,
okay.
which is you manage, but when you have difficult decisions to make, and when there's an issue of justice, you call people into an office or a meeting area and get people to express themselves and try and expose what would be justice, and you come to a fair decision like that. So I've learned from the culture and practiced it and put it into my business.
Great.
And it works very well.
Great.
But so I've said democracy. You know, they say Igbo Enweze.
That Igbos don't have king.
And it's true, because I've researched all the Eze lines, and they all stopped around 1870, 1880, 1900. So the British colonialists
they
encouraged...
came and, yes, give us warrant chiefs.
Yes.
Those that will take care and interpret what
Yes.
our people do to them.
And it's corrupted. Because when you see an Hollywood movie and everyone is bowing down to Eze, for me it disgusts me, because I know it's not real Igbo culture. If there's an ancient Eze, you respect them. But many of the royal lines, if you like, were not real Ezes.
Sir, yes, now tell us, because some people now believe that the white man religion is superior to our religion, the way we worship. Those of us that believe in our tradition know that our tradition is sacred, it is pure.
Yes.
We worship the highest God. But they have sold us the white man religion.
Yes, you mean... yes, you see the ancient Igbo beliefs, worshipping the true creator, Chukwuokike.
Yes.
Okay.
The one that creates, the one that knows it all.
Yes, and the sense of justice, obeying the commandments. And for me, it's in line with ancient Hebrew faith. Not the way the new Jewish faith is being practiced, but the ancient Hebrew faith. In the same way as if you go to the ancient Hebrew Bible, you see Igbo everywhere. Modern Hebrew has evolved. So you see wonderful words, even the name for God, Chi. El Chi came from the Bible.
Is it there?
Yes, it's in the ancient Bible, El Chi. Chi. So much of the beautiful heritage of the Igbos is from Hebrew culture, for me. But African culture on its own, and looking up how the Igbos have progressed. So they managed to hold on to this sense of justice, this democracy. Then also, there's this hospitality and love. You know, I say Igbos are the only nation who don't have one racist bone in them. Tell me if it's not true. Do you know any Igbo man or woman who is racist? It's not possible.
No.
But wherever you go in the world, people have prejudices. And okay, sometimes people from here can go abroad and they'll be mistreated, especially if they'll go to East Europe and some of these places. They'll come back and they'll complain about white people in white Europe. But that's because of experience. But their actual nature is to treat foreigners well. Not just white people, all people. So for me, this hospitality and love is what won me over. And it's what's going to help improve the world. Because when Igbos, I will tell you about their destiny.
Okay, yes, the destiny now.
I got the feeling you wanted me to tell my feelings about what the colonial religionists did.
Exactly.
Because when they came, they told people, dress like us, cut your locks off, look like us, because our God is white. Now that is what the lie, that is the lie. Because we know from research, no one can now deny, if you are Christian, I'm a Messianic Jew, which I do believe in Messiah, I believe in Yeshua, but I know he was not white. I know
Yeshua, the one they call Jesus now.
Yes, I know that the Israelites were black. We've done our research, we've seen the artifacts.
Sir,
We've seen it. So why would you come along and say, bow to us because God is white like us, so we represent God, therefore you'll be our slaves? That was the story, that was the message, and so it's deception.
Sir, Oni of Ife, a while ago, some weeks ago.
Yes, I know.
We heard about it.
Yes.
Said that the story about Igbos coming from the Jew, being the Jew, is that the reverse is the case. That it is the Igbos that moved from the started from eastern part of the world and started moving around the world. That actually, that it is the other way around. That it is the Igbos that that the Jews are the Igbos. Not Igbos that moved to the darkness. Do you agree?
Let me say, I believe that the Igbos have stronger Hebrew blood than the current nation in Israel. So recently they tried to compare Jewish white rabbis in America with Igbo blood, and they said there's not much similarity because they're trying to compare something that got contaminated. All of the original civilization was black. So there's validity in this argument, because the original civilization, even where Abraham was called out of the Chaldees, those people called themselves originally the black-headed people. So, and we know original civilization. I've been writing a book, My Black Heritage.
Okay.
I believe that my original DNA is from black people. So I came from the Middle East, but my ancestors intermixed with white people. You see, let me tell you why white people can't be the inheritors of Israel. Because why would God intelligent God, put people with my skin? You see my skin, you'll notice it's got burn from the African sun. Why would he put people with a deficiency in Africa? Because this is a deficiency. We don't have enough melanin. This thing that colors your skin, it deals with the heat's rays, so it's a gift. So he wouldn't put white people originally. The white race came from intermixing when they moved from the cradle of civilization, when they moved to the north, cold country, and then they intermarried with more white people, and they became pale in complexion, and they lost their DNA to have melanin. So we have to turn this thing on its head. For me, the greatest Hebrew nation are the Igbos.
So I've never seen a white man this passionate about my people, about Igbo people. You've told us a little bit about how it started, but it is out of this world. So for you to even appreciate our religion, even more than some of us, if you tell any of us, any Igbo man, that his religion is better, superior than the white, some of them are beginning to see you as a devil. That is what they call some of us that preach Igbo tradition.
Yeah, let me come in here. You see, there's a lot of brainwashing, and you see a lot of the churches, they've gone over to a particular gospel. You know, they're servants of Europe. They don't see the weaknesses of this church history. And when you talk about a different way, yes, they'll say you're a cultist. And that's what happens. But we have the truth. The truth is that they've come with a gospel which is religious colonialism.
Yeah.
And it's affecting our nation to the point where they don't even feel they should stand up and be advocates for their own nation, because we should love everyone. Not the kind of love deep in Igbo culture, but this misguided love that you should allow.
They sold an inferiority complex.
Yes, yes. That you're subservient to the Europeans. You're not as powerful, as strong as them. You're not as intelligent. Of course, the recent things that have been happening in the world show that the Igbo man is highly intelligent. You know, an Igbo man got the highest score in history in Harvard. You know about some of these things. My own, you see, I'm a psychologist as well as being a doctor. And I know from the training I've done with youths that Igbos are so intelligent. But the system, the church, the university system, the political system is aimed at stopping this creativity that encourages intelligence. So it's not just the church. But for me, I want to say to everyone I now tell people, if you're a Christian, you're in the church, leave your church, go to a house fellowship. Because all they're doing is, the strongest motive the pastors have is money. That's their strongest motive. So I say to them, beware of your tithing and your giving to the church. Which churches?
And that is why most of the members are poor, and the pastors are getting richer and richer.
It's very terrible. It's very terrible. And our people are suffering. Do you know I diagnosed a case of kwashiorkor?
Currently,
6 months ago.
That one happened
in Imo State.
We heard about kwashiorkor about after the Civil War.
Yes, yes,
War,
big.
And it's coming showing up again.
Yes, because there are people who are not having enough protein. And this was the child, the son of a widow in a village in Imo. And the big chiefs and the Ezis would go around in their jeeps, go past her house. She lost her husband, she has no way to look after 5 children, and she's totally neglected. Now, the child, you can see his heart beating because there's no muscle. He's very sad, and it's because the churches, the chiefs. No, look, I'm generalizing. There are some with kindness. Maybe somebody is in the church, or some Ezi, or some chief are kind. I know some myself. But generally speaking now, especially those who are political appointments, they have no care for the people, and they're betraying their culture. Because Igbo culture is to be kind, to be loving, to be true to God, the one true God, but not to worship man. You know what I've seen originally before I became enlightened, I would go to some of the churches. You would see them sometimes spraying their money, doing nonsense things which had nothing to do with the worship of God. And I came away, separated myself, because I see they're corrupting our people. You know, our youths should be built up, not be taught that they're slaves, that they're subordinate to the West, that they're subordinate to white people, that they must behave, not be creative. We must encourage our young Igbo youths to be creative. That's why I have my creative media project, because when you say to a young Igbo guy or a young woman, you know you're the greatest in the world, they excel. They start to believe in themselves. I've trained people all over the world. They're millionaires.
So before we came on, you said something about the talent in Enugu. The one that you are handling now, that Enugu got
more talent. The emphasis more. Because if I go to a village in America with, excuse this expression, but there's an expression we use in America which is white trash. It means the underclass of people who are underdeveloped. You see poverty there, and you see underdeveloped people. If I went to an average Igbo village and an average American village, there's no comparison. The talent here is great, but it's just that the opportunities are not there. So we're saying to the world, America's got talent, Britain's got talent. No. Enugu has more talent.
Well, our people watching us all over the world, to really assist and making sure that these people, these talents in Enugu do not waste. Should what should they do to support? How can somebody really, if one wants to be part of your tutelage, for you to teach and nurture and manage the person, how can people assist in making sure that we bring out those talents that you're talking about?
Yes,
and let the world see?
Well, we have some projects to teach people management business and some other things are coming on board, such as agriculture, because that's one of the other things. The ancient culture used to be very pro-agriculture, and because of these Western white twisted ethics, they thought the best thing to do is to sit behind a desk. But riches come from agriculture. Riches, do you know, Igbo land has the greatest agricultural potential in the world. Herbs, as a doctor, I use many of the herbs for healing. It's such a rich place. But we need to teach our young people to use it and make income from it, because they must start to make money. You see, it's hard for them to do well using their talent unless they're creating wealth. So people can join our program. They can come on the creative media program.
We'll try and give the graphics information
Thank you.
on front of the screen.
Thank you.
Just look at them and tell them.
Yes. Okay. So creative media and entertainment is the forum we're using to showcase to the world that Enugu has vast amounts of talent. So all you need to do is to contact us, nominate people. We're going to have a TV show called Enugu Has More Talent. And one of the criteria, we want your expertise to help us, is that not just global skills, but we want them to nurture their talent in a way that encourages their culture. For example, you can sing a song copying the American rapping, or you can add your own Igbo flavor to it. Because when people sing in Igbo, it's an angelic tongue to me. It touches soul. Touches. Those artists who often sing in Igbo, well, as soon as I hear it, I want to dance. I love Warrior, High Life, all those. And they knew their culture.
They're dead now.
But there were some people in the church that say, David, why do you go after this music? Don't you know it's fetish? They're so deceived. Pure, wonderful music, and even if you look at the lyrics, those lyrics are not lost. They're still alive today. It's about doing good. Warrior always used to sing about doing good.
Yes, Oliver the Cook, yes. They inspired the people with their song.
Yes.
Telling them the stories on how to live well, live peaceful.
Now what is the inspiration? You know what it is? Wind your waist, girls. That is the inspiration.
Yes.
Now it's okay, you can dance to that for a little while, but when it's going on for year after year, you're singing about the same thing. Come on now. That term, that expression came from America. Let's bring some African culture, some wonderful Igbo culture into media.
So what I am getting from what you are saying now is using them to cleanse the society, give them good moral and good talent.
Yes.
Those that have good talent to come up and clean and still prosper. Because one of the things that they run away from, that this thing they say, this one is commercial music, this one is this, because commercial to them is to sing about rubbish, talk about women parts and body parts and all that rubbish. And the thing is can one be rich singing inspirational music and moral, creating clean music,
of course,
with good reading?
Of course.
Just like
yes, of course.
And
Definitely. Because I challenged someone who said to me, there's a spirit, they talk rubbish, there's a spirit that comes with that high life music. I say nonsense. The spirit is joy and happiness and love. That's the spirit. But I don't know what spirit comes with this modern music, because it is inspiring you to want to have illicit sex. So it's got to be a corruption. Now, much more in the world to that, and you can be rich by being morally upright. Of course you can be. There are some great singers that are doing very, very well, and they sing about God, even some Nigerian artists, those who are singing well and they're not forgetting their culture. Especially they're using Igbo vocals.
And those ones you have them as evergreen music. Each time, every day, you can go back and listen to them and all that. But those ones that saying they just make noise for a few months, 3 months,
exactly.
and fades away. And they go to the computer and
Yes,
do you want another thing?
I challenge all the Christians out there. You see, you hear a song, if you're Igbo, singing in English, and then you hear a praise song in Igbo, it brings something out in you. So be true to your true language, because it's truly an angelic tongue. You know, my spirit rises when somebody is praying in Igbo. My spirit rises. I feel it's a language which is ancient and is close to God.
Funny enough, people don't speak our language anymore. Most of them, because they prefer your people, the white. Anything the white says is it. That is it. You talked about the herbs and all that. Do you know that we have some of our herbalists, but hardly can any of us Africans take it, because they say that before you do it, the white man must approve the efficacy of whatever.
It's pure rubbish. Because let me tell you, the reason I'm a doctor. But the reason they push Western medicine is because it's money. The pharmaceutical companies get money. They've done research on human beings, treated human beings in Africa as guinea pigs. They've treated Africans badly. And I'm talking about medicine, and in particular the pharmaceutical companies. Do you know they do clinical trials?
Yeah.
That's trials on drugs, on human beings. And they can't do it in Britain, Europe or America because of the laws protecting people's safety and health. So they bring their clinical trials here. We don't want it because the Bible says herbs are God's medicine, and ancient Igbos know. There's something in this environment that cures everything. Now, this is a big scandal. The world, in terms of medicine, has turned to complementary medicine. I use massage, herbal medicine and other things, and these things are very powerful. But the type of medicine that white people brought to Nigeria, to this land, is old. It's about 60 years outdated, based upon what we call a disease model. You catch a disease, that's it, you're going to die, you need drug. But that's not it. The reason you get HIV or anything else is because of your way of life, poor diet, poor nutrition. Your immune system, which is God-given, is more powerful than any drug. So what I teach is I'm going to help your body to get naturally healthy again, rather than give you power. You know, the powerful drugs are what kill you. Yes. Some of us believe that HIV drugs kill you. You can have better treatment without these drugs. That's what we believe, and it's becoming popular. And it doesn't matter who out there is doubting what we're saying. All you have to do is Google it. You know, I deal with old people in the villages who, because of changing their Igbo diet, going over to Western diet, having spaghetti, indomie, these things were not part of the original culture. Instead of using palm oil, which is nutritious, they will use this white refined oil. All these things, I'm telling you the truth. I know it's going to be controversial, but these things are killing people. White refined sugar, all these things if people go back to ancient Igbo food, they'll be the healthiest people in the world. Now and again I see people in the village, I ask them, they're 100 or 110, I ask them, what do you eat? And invariably they eat the local produce only. Even it has gotten into our water. Our water now is refined. The original water that our forefathers is stream water, they don't drink them anymore. No, you see, unfortunately, Nigeria and the southeast in particular has been responsible for the greatest damage to the environment more than any other land. In Imo, where my background originated, all the rivers have been stopped by fake road building. You know what I mean by that? Very poor roads. They'll just dump concrete down and stop the flow of the river. So all the streams have unnaturally stopped their flow and become contaminated. So people are drinking pure water, and pure water has plastic in it. Do you know you can't drink pure water in white man's land? You know, the one that puts in sachet? Yes, you can't, because the plastic dissolves. And melts into it. Yes, so the best way of drinking water is get an old big Igbo calabash, go to a borehole, the deep one, take the borehole water, put it into the clay calabash. Clay pots. We had clay pots those days when we were growing up. It's the best way of keeping water cool, and it's nourishing, good, pure water, providing the borehole's deep enough. Boreholes in towns have got contaminated. But if you find a source that is deep enough, instead of using this bottled and pure water, use that water. So there are still some good sources. Enugu is fine. You know Enugu has some waterfalls.
Yeah,
Enugu,
somewhere night mile from
Enugu is the most beautiful place in Africa. But all the beauty spots are neglected because people want to go abroad or they want to go to Lagos.
Because of what your people are telling us, and they are brainwashing us, like you rightly said. And most of the things that we do, those of us that promote Igbo language and all that, they even say that we are illiterate. We are illiterate, we are primitive, we don't know anything because we hold tight to our tradition and culture.
It's not true.
That is why most of them believe that because they paint the devil black, that the black man is is that true?
See, my Bible says God surrounds himself, he enshrines himself in darkness. You know, God cannot be white. You know, and Messiah, that they believe in Jesus, I believe is Yeshua, was dark-skinned. So yes, their concept of God is, it makes a black person feel, okay, I'm subordinate. White person comes in, I used to go to churches in the old days, they want me to sit in the front, in special seat, and I don't like it. I will go back to the back.
They want to give you special respect because you are white.
But it's not right. It's not right to give any man additional respect. Our Igbo culture is that we are all equal, and we are all the apple of God's eye. We are precious. So that's the values we want. No more elitism. No more the West is better than Africa. And no more are Igbos less good or less honest than other people within Nigeria. Because Igbos are also terribly marginalized. How they suffer. And it affects young people's morale. If people keep telling you, even if the message isn't clear, you are from that nation that are trickish, that are doing dishonest things, and it affects your morale. A lie, if it's told enough, you believe it.
Yeah.
So even our young people, I hear them. And then the other thing that I detest is this bleaching of skin. Not
they want to be like you.
Not appreciating that blackness is a gift. You know, unfortunately, I'm not gifted with this melanin so that I can resist the sun. But I told my wife, my wife is here, she has dark skin. I told her not to bleach, and she doesn't anymore. She's now become more African. Because you see,
she looks beautiful.
Thank you. You see, if you bleach your skin, you're saying to God, I don't like the way you made me. It's a sin. And what they don't know is this hydroquinone that's in the bleaching of the skin, two things. It ages you prematurely. I'm a doctor. When I have to examine older women, sometimes, you know, as a man, I say, this skin is not good. It's premature aging. There are scars. So what is causing this ill health? It all becomes of people despising blackness. Do you know, I've had some youths tell me, I like pale girls. I don't like black girls. See, it makes me want to swear. I want to say, are you effed up? You know, what is wrong with you? A beautiful girl can come along, but because she's dark complexion, it means you don't want her. You're chasing after her. What difference does it make? Igbos have all colors, from white right up to dark black as this foam, and brown, and in between. And that's the beauty of the nation. It's the mixture, the different flavors. There's no nation like that. But each person should respect and love themselves the way they are.
Thank you, Doctor. This is really inspiring. I must thank you again. As we round up, we really want you to tell us more about this way, what you are doing now, getting the talents in Enugu, because you say there are talents. Enugu has more talent. What to do to really come back and have value, especially for Igbo man, to really know that they are originally created by God, and they should appreciate God for making them or creating them as Igbo.
Yes. Well, we enroll people onto programs, but we have some rules that you must get to know yourself. You must.
Is this going to be like a talent hunt kind of?
Yes, there's two parts of it. There's training for skills and talent nurturing as well. because in the media and entertainment world, of course you can be trained to be the best, but if you have some natural talent, it helps. So there's some filtering of talent. There are some people more gifted with singing than others. So we're going through auditions with the aim of picking out the top 10, and we're going to showcase them to the world. They will be on world TV, not just Enugu TV. We're going to showcase them and say, look world, notice Africa, notice the Igbo nation. These people are talented. These people in later years, in the near future, are going to be showing the world, leading the world in all areas, in all professions. Allow them to enrich your nation. Because I do believe that Igbos, we should encourage everyone, young people, to do well here. But they may well want to flourish abroad for a little while and come back.
Yeah.
But it mustn't be they're going abroad to learn their culture. No, they're going abroad to evangelize their culture and spread the good news.
Good.
Now that's a different form of emigration. We're now going to emigrate and export Igbo culture.
You're blessed. You're blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Madam is there smiling. Madam, Madam, can you get why was a doctor?
Chineke for
is Madam part of this talent?
Yes, she is. She's a teacher, so you know she's been trained in the university system.
Okay.
So she's still coming along to communicate and be more vocal.
Okay, now, I'm a Niwana. Was there an became? Makanagina became. Was can I say I'm doing a number one in a became?
yes, actually I'm happy to have my husband here in Nigeria and precisely in Igbo land. He is here to help us, help our youth with so much talent. Like he has said everything. And I believe so much in him, and I trust God that has brought him here to help us.
Thank you. Thank you. We are so happy, sir, to you are our in-law.
I want to thank you,
sir,
because you're an advocate for the Igbo nation. You see, I believe in the Igbo grew in Israel.
Yeah,
so you are the ancient Israelites, more so than current Israel. So you are there to lead us. So you are vanguard. And so I love what you're doing.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
your servant.
Thank
Understand that anything you want me to do, I will do.
Thank you.
So on behalf of everyone that I know, thank you. We know what you're doing.
Thank you.
This TV is promoting Igbo culture.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Time for Africa to rise. It's time for Igbo to rise.
Thank you so much. So for those of you who want more information about what Doctor is doing for Igbo, we will see contact in front of the screen, and get in touch and see how we can begin to promote the Igbo culture, especially our younger ones that are more talented. Like Doctor said, he said Enugu has more talent. Let's bring them to the world. With that, I said, get information on front of your screen. Contact them and see how you can support this noble cause, and God will bless you all. As we close, Chineke gozi unu n'afọ na oge anyị ka anyị na ya si kpaa. Chineke gozi unu. Ngwanụ ka ọ dịrị, abụ m Chizzy ani Ododere ndị Igbo.